What is up, YouTube? McIntyre here, bringing you a new video today targeting Sergeant Hammer. I know currently Sergeant Hammer is flavor of the month, so I figured I would bring a video to you guys as I feel after the buff to her base range that she is maybe a bit stronger than we all originally thought that she would be. I think the main focus on why she's gotten so much stronger is simply because of her focused attack at level 4. Prior to the base increase in range, she always had to take Maelstrom Shells at 4, which was the increased range. But now getting focused attack, I feel like the poke that she has with both her auto and her ability to napalm strike is really impactful in team fights. She also has incredible sustain through first aid and stone skin on a ranged assassin. Her thrusters do a great job of escaping when she gets caught, paired with her concussive blast, and her spider mines always hold flanks, which is really important as vision in Heroes of the Storm is really hard to come by. So I just wanted to go over kind of a basic build for her and then show you guys a gameplay, as I do feel like she is really strong right now. And again, this is another hero that I feel like if you practice her and perfect her, then you can really abuse Hero League and gain some easy ranks currently. So we'll go over the build. Pretty simple, pretty quick here. So at level 1, we're going to be taking Advanced Artillery. This is just going to increase the damage to long distance enemies by 10%. So your max range auto is going to deal a bit more damage, just base auto attack. This is the most bonus damage at level 1, and we do want to be taking damage talents. So Advanced Artillery is what we'll be taking at level 1. At level 4, like I said before, Focused Attack I think is the all-star here. Dealing 60% additional damage on your auto attack really adds up once you have a strong base auto attack, which Hammer does. Her number is really high because of her slow attack speed. So getting that kind of crit every 10 seconds can really put out some pretty sick damage. So we're going to be picking out Focused Attack at 4. And then, as I talked about before, these built-in sustain tools at 7 will be taking First Aid almost 100% of the time. This is a great 1v1 talent. The other person kind of overextends into you to think that they got you. You hit First Aid and you go full and harder into them. And a lot of the times you can come out winning that duel. At 10, Napalm Strike 100% of the time. I love this talent. This is the Kobe talent to me. Every time I shoot a rocket, I want to yell Kobe, because it just feels, like I'm shooting a jump shot fade away, and sometimes even you're fading away as you're shooting it back at them. It's just an awesome talent to use. It's very impactful. It's great at poking the enemy team. At 13, I almost always go Giant Killer. Just, again, adding a little more damage to our auto attack goes a long way. Sometimes you can argue that Barricade is the better talent here, because the wall can push some melee heroes like Thrall, heroes that don't have a lot of mobility, away. Sometimes it is a good tech talent, and you can just kind of tech into it to protect yourself from some of those types of heroes. But against things like Kerrigan and, let's say, Zeratul, it's not going to really do much. So Giant Killer is almost, I would say, 90% of the time the correct talent to take. Just adds more to your auto attack. It's going to increase your damage overall and just make Hammer even more of a problem for the other team. So we're getting to the 16 talent, and I talked about Stone Skin being really good. And a lot of the time it really is, because to me, you don't have to siege up as Hammer unless you know you're safe to siege up. So Stone Skin for me is usually what I end up taking in Hero League, as I don't expect as much heals, and I kind of play frontline Hammer, not so far behind my tanks, as most of the time you have like solo Leoric tank or something in Hero League. So I personally like Stone Skin a lot of the time in Hero League, but my favorite talent to take at 16 is Hover Siege mode. I had an Uther video that I made where I got upset at my teammate because he took Graduating Range against a Tyrael with Judgment and a Sonya with Leap. It made absolutely no sense, as it's 16 talent, and he already knew that they had those talents at 10. And sitting still doesn't really do anything for you as Hammer. You don't really want to stand still and say, hey guys, hit me. Instead, you want to kind of sit still and say, okay, I'm hitting you. Okay, now you're threatening to hit me. Now I want to unsiege. So having to sit in siege mode until you get value to me just doesn't really make a lot of sense. However, Hover Siege allows you to move a little bit so you can create the space that you need to off of especially her slow auto attack. So you can put a lot of space between you and the enemy in between auto attacks before they kind of get on top of you. So these two talents differ depending on the team composition, what the enemy team's trying to do. If I'm against something like a Chromie, I probably won't go Hover Siege. But if I'm against something like a, let's say, Rainer or a Li Ming even, I might try to go the Hover Siege route just to shoot at them while they try to poke at me. So for sake of whatever your game is, if the other team is also kind of a bursty team like that Sonya tier I was talking about, Stone Skin just 100% of the time. Protect yourself. Don't worry and rely so much on your support to protect you. It doesn't always work. And I've, again, gotten so much value out of this talent. A lot of people try to 1v1. You hit the Stone Skin and you turn on them and they just get blown out. So for the most part, you see me go Stone Skin, especially in Hero League. And we're going to get to the 20 talent now. This is the ultimate Kobe talent. I'm not going to... I normally don't take it unless it's Towers of Doom, as I find this talent to be crazy good on Towers of Doom. So we'll just say Nexus Frenzy 90% of the time again, unless you're playing Towers of Doom and you need some sort of poke. But I'm going to talent this just to show you the increase in range. So as you can see, the range on this talent is already pretty good. If someone were to capture the shrine here, you know, I could shoot my rocket from here even and hit them, right? But if we take this talent, you'll see that the range of this talent is just like it's screens away, right? It screens away. You can, that's why I say this is the ultimate Kobe talent. So on Towers of Doom, you can be in the middle lane and shoot the middle shrine, or you can be at your wall on bottom and shoot at the bottom shrine. Like, it's insane range. And what I like to do with this talent too is just shoot rockets here, or you know, if this is their well and their keep, you can honestly just shoot rocket in between them. Let's see if I can do it here. Probably not. Maybe I have the range. Yeah, I do. See, and you can just set napalm over and over and over. Obviously, you can do this pre 20. You don't have to do it at 20, but even with 20, once you get this talent, it's just you're just shooting max range rockets over and over. Like I said, I normally do this on Towers of Doom, but Nexus Frenzy, 90% of the time, it lets you 1v1 even better. You get in it even further increased attack range. You get more attack speed. Just overall, the better talent for me at level 20. So this is the basic kit for Hammer. I can kind of talk about a few things that you can do on Hammer super quick before we start. One thing is just practice in try mode. If you've never played her auto attack speed. She has a window in between her auto attacks. If I auto a minion, you'll kind of hear it. Okay, when her I guess little shooter pulls back, you can move. Okay, you can immediately move once it pulls back. But if you A click and then move, you'll cancel your auto. A lot of the time, they made it. You can kind of, yeah. It takes like a second for her to. Yeah, here we go. So you can see here, if I just A and move, I'm never gonna shoot. I maybe shoot every once in a while. But if you can get the rhythm down of her auto attack, you can really create, you know, a lot of space. Oh, the Arthas juked my rocket between you and the enemy. Okay, so that's one thing that I would say. Just go into try mode and just get that auto attack down, because it's a bit different than all other heroes in the game. It's a little more wonky as it takes a second or two to fire the missile. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about. Remember that, you know, you want to hide your mines. You don't want to put them so that, let me toggle cooldown, so that like the enemy sees them. Never want to do that. This would be a bad mine placement. This would be a good mine placement, right? Another kind of idea when you place mines, like don't set them here. Okay, because the enemy is going to see that, right? Set them like here in the fog, okay? So now when the enemy walks around this corner, they're running into the mines here, and they don't see them. They won't see them there. They'll see them here, but like if they're walking down, they won't see these mines being here. Okay, so that'll slow them. So if that kind of the basic idea again, like a good place to put mines would be like here against this wall if they're bending around that corner. The other one, another one that I do a lot personally is I play like a really aggressive. If someone, let's say, comes up on my team, I might play aggressive and thruster to knock them back. You can do that as well. What I like to do is I'll thruster, knock them, and then set mines. So now they're walking into those mines. Okay, and then you can kind of just shoot your way at them. Another really good combo. And then just when you're sieging, because of the bug currently, that the blue dots are actually not the range. They're a little bit back. Imagine just like a minion's health bar from what the blue line is. Just kind of see invisible minion's health bar from this blue dot, right? Probably like this, right? And you're gonna be your range, okay? So those are the few things. When you napalm a wave, always napalm the middle minion. When you're wave clearing, you can napalm a wave, then W the wave after 2 ticks of your napalm, and it'll clear the whole wave. So if I have the 20 talent, but yeah. So if you napalm and then the dot kind of ticks twice, then you W, you'll kill the whole wave. So it's really good for wave clear. And then again, when you're sieging towers, shoot your rocket so it hits the sidewall, the tower, and the middle gate. Don't sell yourself short and aim for just the tower or something like that. Even better if you can hit rockets as the minions are coming out. So those are all little tips and tricks. Sorry, tongue twister there. But you'll see more of this in the gameplay, so hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay. Hopefully you've enjoyed these tips so far, and I'll see you all there in the game. Alright guys, so we are hopping into a game. It is going to be Battlefield for Eternity, which is awesome, as this probably is Hammer's best map, I would say. She's awesome on this map. Like I said, her mines create so much vision, so you can hold all the flanks. And if the other team can't get to you, then you just dominate the boss fights. So you can also siege really well once you get the mortals or whatever they're called. So this map is really excellent. My team composition is a little weird, but this is a quick match, so I'm really glad that both teams have a full kind of somewhat of a composition, right? We have a support, a tank. We just so happen to get Artanis, but I do have an Asmodan, so there's a lot more meat in front of me. They have a Zagara. I have to kind of watch out for her Banelings and her E, as well as Kel'Thas. He can throw a tornado at me and follow up the Anubarak, but I think I trade a lot better into them than they trade into me, as long as I move correctly in these team fights. So we are going to be taking advanced artillery. Again, this is going to help us to damage the boss as well. On this map too, like, I don't know if this is like exploitable, like, or if you can get in trouble with Blizzard, but for whatever reason, if you siege in this bush and auto attack this tower, the enemy can't see you. They can see the damage on the tower, but they can't actually see you. Like, you don't actually show up. So this is like pretty much free every time. This is a little, pro tip, right, guys? Pro tip. Oh, here we go. Nice swap. And then turbo out, knock him back, just like I talked about in the video. Sometimes I look to make aggressive plays. Might be able to pick up 2 here. Spider Mine's sick. Yeah, so we're already like in a dominant position. Might be able to pick this kill up too. Oh, so close. We have no one soaking top, but it's not a big deal. I'm getting a lot of siege here. So I'm going to set up spider mines in front of me when I siege up like this, in case the Anubarak or something wants to come after me. But again, I just need to watch out for those Banelings, and the Hydra too is kind of annoying. Make sure not to just eat that. Another thing is like Kel'Thas, if he DQs, that's another kind of AoE that he can poke at me. So I don't honestly want to siege up too much against this team unless I feel really safe. That's actually really nice. That shows how much damage Hammer's auto has. He just one-shots Zagara's creep, which is actually insane. If I auto attack every time he lays a creep like that, it just one-shots it. I don't have to hit it twice. Alright, so here, I'm just going to siege up on the outside over here, and then have their team deal with me. Again, this is like where KT DQ could come into play, or like Zagara's E. Here comes a, here we go. So Zagara's actually playing up on me. I'm just going to tank this Hydra? No, I'm gonna go back to sieging. Probably would be better if I moved to this position. Watch out for the other team. They kind of have us on the back angle, which is really bad as hammer for me, right? To have someone on my flank. Never good, but I think KT's dead for it. Yeah. I might be able to pick up even a double kill here. Talent of focus attack, that'll give me a crit. Oh, so close. Maybe you can... Oh, I might die for this. Oh boy. Perfect. Good heals from Rhaegar. And I'll just finish this off. If they come, I can Z out. I think Thrall was on theirs the whole time. I'll use my W for damage and my mines. Might as well. So now, my favorite part about this boss in particular is you can siege up right here, and then you can shoot at the boss from here. And this is incredibly difficult for the other team to get to. Most of the time, the other team doesn't know you're here. Another really good spot's up here, or even sometimes down here. But this is my favorite one because it kind of creates this wall that the enemy team just can't walk through to hit you, right? They have to be like a Nubrak, or they have to walk around. And if you mine correctly, then they're not going to be able to do something like that. So now we'll walk up, and I'm going to place a spider mine over here to kind of protect this angle if they walk around and get behind us. See if I can get that creep. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a good swap. Again, you can see that focused attack really coming into play as well. Zagara just taking 50% of her health on 2 autos is pretty nuts. So I'm gonna do the kind of the bush glitch again. This is for all bushes when you're sieging. For whatever reason, the game programmed so that the other team doesn't see you while you're in a bush shooting buildings. So here comes a KT flank. Don't really want to siege up here. I'm just gonna stay out of siege and just shoot. We'll get some spider mines here. Probably would have been better to put them here. Now KT can see those when they come around the corner. Getting 2 autos. I think KT traded about evenly there. Oh, nice. Watch a tornado. Oh, ouch. Alright. So I'm gonna back. Don't really have to stand around. There's nothing on the map. My team is team fighting for some reason, but I think they should be alright. If I had been there, would we have won the fight? Probably not. Our team is kind of suicided. Good news is they don't have anyone bot, and we have an Asmon and AFK pushing, which is like almost the equivalent of having Hammer AFK push. Make sure to kill those mutas every time he summons one on me. So I'm gonna start clearing out some of this creep. The last thing you want to have a Zagara do is set up a bunch of creep. So even though it kind of sucks as Hammer to use my W to knock creep out, like in the end I think it's worth it. I'm gonna first aid here. That muta on me is kind of zoning me. Team's still pushing bot pretty well, and the boss is spawning as soon. So I'll get in position on this map. Got I would say a non-favorable spawn. Now we're on the defense, so we have to play offensively to damage. It's a little bit harder for Hammer to get a good angle, but the best one is probably just behind this rock. So you can Z out if they come on me. Right? The only thing I have to watch out for is like a Kel'Thas tornado or a Nubrak. I thought he was digging there for me. I think our team went to go tap there. Keep attacking the beetles. So dodge KT tornado, but I'm taking a lot of poke. Chain bomb. Watch out for that chain bomb on Nova. Ow. I don't think that Nova is aware at all of the chain bomb, either on me or on her. I'm gonna back to get full. I have the turbo to get back to the lane too. It's actually pretty sweet on this map. I don't know if it resets your turbos, but that'd be awesome if it did. So we might be able to win this. Like, we're gonna have to go pretty heavily ham here. I'm gonna look to turbo her down. I think she should be dead. Yeah, perfect. Now I'm switching to KT. I'm just gonna hit my first aid so I can tank. Almost got him. Almost in range. Oh. Ooh, nice snipe. Now I'm gonna set up some mines here. And then go back and get into a siege position. Just autoing until I get to that position that I want to be in. Thing with this map is if I was at like, let's say 20% health and like 20% mana, with one of them dead, it's like usually better to just stick around and race with your team. So I'm gonna set up again my siege position. Set up over here now. I thought he was gonna go at me. This way I'm out of that circle range. AT is flanking. What's one thing, like I said, I needed to worry about? The tornadoes are actually fairly good against hammer. If my team had been there to react, though, I would have been a-okay. Now I'm just kind of set up on the back. I'm actually going to just focus the boss. I don't care so much about kills. I never really care about kills on this map. I mean, they're nice, but getting like a really juicy boss, like high percent, just always is better. Buildings will always lead to bigger XP leads. Just the way the heroes works. Alright, so now that I have napalm, I can start napalming creep. Which is sweet. And again, you want to kind of position napalms almost in between if you can. I'm gonna first aid here and fight this. Should be able to kill him, yeah. Wow, there's a Nova up there, what the heck? Top position to the top. Knocking out some creep. Don't want them to see where we're at while we push up. Now we'll put a spider mine on the backside. This is actually a good time to get into a siege. So they will not be able to get to me from where I'm at. Like, might even be able to kill the Zag. Yeah. I'm just gonna go giant killer this game. Just kind of hammer doing what she does best. The other team can't respond to you. It's like Sylvanas Siege. You just get free siege damage. It's uncontestable siege damage. This guy might be dead. I'm gonna turbo for that auto. Oh, one more napalm? Nope. I think I can still duel this. Oh, that's a pyroblast. Don't pyro me, man. Come on. No. Run. Run, Force, run. Kind of close the gap here. I don't know who they're hunting, but I hope it's not me. He is kind of hunting. That clone is hunting me for sure. Do you have a tap? No. Oh, they're so weak over there. I'm so tempted, but just drop a spider mine. It's back. 30 seconds. Want to get to the middle before this spawns. So we'll run right to the middle. See, on this map too, just in general, tip on this map, if the Immortals is spawning, like, make sure to be in position, because sometimes you get a favorable spawn. Let's say your team's like hanging out here and it spawns right there. Like, you immediately can get on it and just win that Immortal, right? So here, even, this is pretty favorable, I would say. I'm already in position. We already have a damage lead. Now their team is forced to defend. They can't really win this race anymore. See, and the worst part is they're like trying to find me. I have a mine protecting me here in case KT tries to flank. Kind of throw a mine up here again. So now, like I said, their team's forced to defend. Most of the time they like can't even defend too. I think Noob's taking a ton of damage. I gotta watch the chain bomb. I hit first aid, kind of start fighting again. Play aggressive with my thrusters. See a KT clone. Wanna kind of back up. Oh, look at that. Loving it, dude. The increased base range is so good with the focused attack. It really is like way stronger than it seems. There, if it was normal auto attack hammer, I wouldn't have killed that guy, but because I got the focused attack, like I got the pick there. Go step back up. This is definitely a hover siege game. This is one of those games, like I said, if they're coming into me, they're gonna have a harder. This team's gonna have a harder time of poking me. Something like a Chromie or something is gonna have an easier time, obviously, but even like a Li Ming sometimes can. But like a Kael'thas, like if he walks up, he's gonna try to tornado me, and I'll be able to auto him 3 to 4 times before he can. Same with like Ariel and even a Nubrak. If he digs on me and misses, then I'll just blow him away with Hover Siege. So I don't really want to use my turbo here, as I want to have my turbo when we start sieging. The best thing to do if you're in like this case for the blue or the red team is like just all in us for a team fight. Oh, I actually Z'd there. See, like all KT can do is walk up and hit me like twice, and in that time period I've shot him 3 or 4 times. He's resurrecting KT. And the hammer siege begins. This is why we take hover siege right here, boys. There's absolutely nothing the other team can do at this point. G. So as you can see, in some cases, hammer is just out of control. And in this case, I would even say that our team composition was the weaker team comp. But just through the execution of my play and the aggressiveness, also / defensiveness, being aware of what the enemy team can do to me as hammer, I was able to, you know, dominate siege damage, hero damage, you know, kills, assist. I had 0 deaths. Like, their team had a fairly strong team against hammer as well. But, you know, look at it, and if my team composition was even better to aid the hammer, how much more successful I could have been. So if you get hammer in a good team composition, she's insane. If you get her in a decent team composition, she's still really good. She's great at dueling, she's great at poking, and like as you saw there with that Nubrak kill, for example, you find picks like that a lot. Like just an auto and a napalm will get a kill on somebody, or someone will overcommit into you and you'll spider mine them, or maybe you have a teammate stun a range out of kind of, you know, out of position, and then you can turbo in and knock them into your team with a spider mine combo. So there's so much you can do with her. She's so versatile. She's probably one of my favorite range to play right now. Actually, over the past few days, I play her a lot in Hero League, and I've had an insane amount of success with her. I think I'm probably 100% win rate. I can't remember the last time I lost with her. The scaling at 16, as you saw in that one fight, was crazy. And then imagine at 20 when you get Nexus Frenzy, you get even more attack range, even more attack speed. You're just destroying Kael'thas's with like 5 autos, and it takes 3 seconds to pop those 5 autos off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this build and gameplay video. If you did, please make sure to throw a like on the video and subscribe. You can also check out both my Twitch and Twitter, which are located below. I do enjoy streaming a lot, and I do normally stream in the evening times. So swing by, say hey. I'll see you guys all for my next video. It should be on a melee assassin. Again, I was supposed to make a video on her in particular, but I decided to play hammer as I feel like this is better for the moment, as I want you guys to have success and rank up, and hopefully use these videos to help you kind of create success for yourself. So Again, guys, cheers. Thanks for hanging out, and I hopefully will see you guys next video. Peace.